I'm from New Orleans, East.
Still living in New Orleans?
Yeah, well, actually, I lived in Baton Rouge for some time, too. I just moved back to New Orleans from Baton Rouge.
How old were you when you moved to Baton Rouge?
That was right after the hurricane, so I was probably around 8 or 9.
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, Hurricane Katrina.
So you moved 8 or 9, and now you recently moved back to New Orleans.
Yeah, like I was still like in between, cause we still have a house out there and shit, and like I have family that be out there, so I was always back and forth, but I was mainly stationed in Baton Rouge.
I see.
Mm.
Now, what was it like for you growing up in New Orleans and then spending some time in Baton Rouge? Can you paint that picture?
New Orleans, it's like that's what I knew. Like that's all I knew. Like I'm born there, so all I know is New Orleans. Like all the type of events and the energy that you just get from the city. Period. So after the hurricane and moving, like Baton Rouge is like a whole different vibe. Like you could go to New Orleans and see people walking around and joys and shit. Baton Rouge, you ain't even got sidewalks. Like if they walking in the street, and it's just a whole different like vibe. Period.
Was it a rough upbringing for you?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna say I had it too rough. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, everybody, got some shit that go on growing up.
What was your roughest moment for you growing up that you experienced? Out of all the moments you may have encountered.
Could I say it as in like, I have more than one. So like, probably like, growing up without a pops, there's always some shit to deal with. I had to, when I was young, I think I was like 3, I had to sit in court and watch my dad get sentenced. And I ain't know what the fuck was going on till later. So I'm in the courtroom, I'm like, Dad, woo the woo, he not looking at me and shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck, why my dad ain't fucking with me? Then later on, I found out, oh, he incarcerated. So he was in jail till I was like 11 or 12. So then we wound up moving to Baton Rouge. Like, it was just a whole different thing. We 20 deep in one fucking house. Then we moved to a shotgun house. I ain't even have a room. Like, in New Orleans, I had a room. But in Baton Rouge, it was, shit, you walk through the door, I'm on bunk bed in the living room. Like, shotgun house straight to the back. I used to record in the kitchen. Like, that's how it was.
A shotgun house, I'm not familiar. What is that?
Like, a house, it really ain't nothing. Just the front door to the back. Like, you could just see straight through that bitch. Like, it ain't no corners. You ain't got it straight to the back.
No rooms?
Rooms, but like, it's just one hallway.
Oh.
It's just one hallway. So, and if it is a room, it's probably a small ass little box. Like, you can't really do nothing in there.
20 deep in one house.
20 deep in one house. After the hurricane.
What are these, I mean, who's in the house? What are the sleeping arrangements like?
Aunts, uncles, cousins, aunties, other family members, like probably one of my uncles' partners or something, like coming as well. Like everybody just had to, come together. It's not something we wanted to do because that shit, motherfuckers sleeping on the floor. I think one night I slept in the fucking tub, like with no water, like with a pillow or some shit. Because I was getting, I don't know, like it was hot as fuck, power going out, all type of shit.
Let's talk about a few things. Your father, what did he go in for, if you don't mind me asking? What was he sentenced for?
Being in the streets, to sum it up. Things you just gotta do to provide for your people and your family. So I couldn't fault him for it.
How much time was he sentenced for, and how much time did he actually do?
He was sentenced 9 years, and he did 9 years. Yeah.
During those 9 years, did you have communication with him? Do you recall that?
Yeah, like my mom she used to take me to see him, and ever so often. So yeah, I used to talk to him on the phone and shit. So yeah.
When he got out, what was that like?
Shit, it was cool as a bitch. Like I had my pops back, so. Shit, I ain't know what to expect on them shit. I'm like, shit, you been in jail since I was 3 and shit, but yeah, it was cool. I was just cool to have to say, shit, I got my pops.
This was before the hurricane came, he was released?
No, this after the hurricane.
Oh.
Yeah. After that
How soon after?
Some years after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what was that so he gets out. Do you meet him actually when he gets out and he's
Nah.
outside the prison gates type of thing?
Nah, it was like on some, I'm at school shit, and my mom just randomly called and was like, well, your daddy picking you up. And I'm like, the fuck? My daddy picking me up. So when I got outside, my pops was outside to pick me up from school.
Did you know he was going to be released?
Nah.
So
I knew he was going to be released, but I didn't know how soon. Like, I didn't know exact date. I knew he was going to be released, though.
No one told you, hey, your father's going to be coming in about a week?
Nah.
So this was a total shock.
Yeah, it was a shock.
So was that awkward?
Was
that an awkward moment? When you first see him, can you take us back to that time?
Yeah, it was awkward on some shit. I mean, I didn't see my pops, like, out in the open like this in like years. And I think once he got out, I haven't went and seen him either, like in like a little minute. So yeah, it was kind of awkward, but at the same time, like, shit, that's my pops.
Other kids saw this?
Or
was this like a private moment?
It was like a private moment, yeah.
Okay. I know sometimes kids can be embarrassed of their parents and that sort of thing in school.
Nah, I never was embarrassed of my parents.
Now, okay, so is there tears happening? Is this nervousness, excitement?
Yeah, excitement and tears. Yeah, I got my pops. That shit cool.
Now, how was the relationship with you and your father since he came back home?
It's been good. It's been pretty good. I talk to him almost every other day. Yeah, like, man, he might just call me sometime, like, man, what you doing? Well, you at the studio? I see something, man. I got an idea you should do it, you know.
Because when somebody's out of your life for that long, it could be like, even though he is your father, one may look at somebody like it's a stranger in a sort of sense, you know, like it's something we got to deal with now. You were never there before, now you're here, and now you're trying to act like a father or try to be like something that I'm not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But like, it was different. Like, most of the times people feel like that, they feel like that they dad didn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I kind of knew what was going on. Like, I know what he in jail for. I'm older now, so I understood more. Like, you in jail because you was trying to take care of your business. You know, you did what you had to do. You was trying to make your life better, and the people around you life better. So I couldn't fault you. I can't fault him for that.
So it was pretty organic. It was pretty natural.
Yeah, it was pretty natural.
Was there another male figure in your life during that time of his absence?
Probably like my older cousins or something like that, but not really, like, no.
I see. Somebody watching this, right? Maybe they're a teenager, preteen teenager, and they have a parent that's coming back in their life from doing a lengthy amount of time. Circumstances could be different for everybody, but is there any general advice you have to somebody watching this right now, maybe going through a similar situation?
To be honest, I can't tell nobody else what to do, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta try to sit in their shoes sometimes and think about what they went through as well, instead of just worrying about how you feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's really it.
Dealing with the Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Was that something you and your family were able to evacuate before the hurricane actually touched down in the city? And
we were evacuating like while the hurricane was touching the city. But we were able to get out. Like, it was storming like when we leaving. So yeah, we were able to get out. It was already hitting the city though.
I see. So you were. Guess your family was last minute on that. Yeah,
we were very last minute because we were about to leave. And I didn't even know about the hurricane. I just thought we was about to take a trip and come back. So, shit, when I seen the news, I knew we weren't going back. So.
Was your home affected?
Yeah, flooded, over with. Yeah, it was done.
Take us back to that moment. You guys actually do evacuate. Was there a lot of people evacuating? I don't know if you can remember, it's been some time, but was there a lot of people evacuating last minute on the road too?
Yeah.
Like, was it heavy traffic trying to get out? Was it?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. It was heavy-ass traffic trying to get out. Bumper-to-bumper traffic trying to get out.
And I always wondered how that worked, because I always see, you know, images of this stuff like, you know, like you said, bumper to bumper and lines of cars. But what happens if somebody runs out of gas? What happens if somebody's car just, you know, starts to smoke and but they're in the middle of the lane where all the other cars are. They're not on the outside of the lane. Their car's breaking down on them. I always wondered how that works. Did you experience any of that?
No.
It was just bumper to bumper on your way out.
Yeah.
Now, you guys go to Baton Rouge. You already had family out there?
Yeah, I had a grandmother that stayed out there.
I see. And is this the house that was 20 deep in, your grandma's house, or
Yeah.
you guys had to find some other
No,
location?
We were in her house, 20 deep, if not more.
Did you have any other additional family members that were left behind?
Yeah.
How were they affected? Were they okay?
Some were like stranded in the Superdome. Some were lost. We had to find them. Like, yeah. Serious.
Did you end up finding them?
Yeah. I had a lot of people deceased in the flood too as well.
You did have people that deceased from the flood. Because there were reports of deaths.
Yeah.
When do you actually go back, if you went back?
I don't really remember when I actually went back. I remember wanting to go back when they were letting people go back like on boats or some shit at some point in time, I think. And I couldn't go back, but I finally went back, I think, once they had the house or something gutted out and shit. And I seen a lot of shit, and I was just like, damn, this shit real.
Did other family members check up on the house or go to the house maybe before you actually seen it? Or are you seeing it when they see it too for the first time?
I think they already had went through because they were like going through shit to save anything that may have been of value.
I see. What was the plan after that? Everybody just relocating and...
Shit, trying to find out how the fuck you about to start your new life.
Was the plan Baton Rouge? Was the plan, okay, everybody get jobs and let's camp out here, this is the new destination?
Shit, I don't really know the plan. I was in school in elementary, so I just know I was going to school in a different city. I don't know too many motherfuckers, so...
Yeah, just curious. Again, I know this was a while and you were young at the time, but, you know, just trying to see if you remember what details you did remember. Because sometimes, you know, in a situation like that, people will go to a location temporarily and then go to another location permanently. Like, so for instance, somebody might, like yourself, your family might go to Baton Rouge, be with grandma for a little bit until stuff dissipates, and then you might go to Houston.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people go to Houston. I've seen a lot of people.
I just was in Baton Rouge.
People came to Atlanta.
Yeah. They had a lot. I had some few relatives come to Atlanta. Yeah.
You ended up staying in Baton Rouge. How was that going to school there? Were you accepted? Did you have a tough time adjusting to these?
If you was a kid from the city going to school in Baton Rouge, you had a tough time because it was fucking war. Like, motherfuckers at each other's neck. It had the Baton Rouge, New Orleans beef going on. It just, I don't know. That shit was childish, though. Ain't nobody on that shit like that no more, but that's how it was.
Why?
I don't know.
Rouge
it's
versus
like,
New Orleans. Why? Why not everybody just get along?
I guess motherfucker just felt like, man, you come to our city and I don't know. I really don't know how they felt, but they just felt some type of way at the time. I couldn't explain it, but they just felt some type of way. I ain't understand it either.
You managed to get through it.
Yeah, I managed to get through it though.
Now, maybe somebody watching this, right? As far as dealing with a hurricane or a natural disaster,
right?
Because sometimes, you know, a city will get warned of a hurricane coming,
Mm-hmm.
and the hurricane comes and it doesn't do too much damage. They might even say, hey, we got a big hurricane coming, we should evacuate this, that, and the third, and the hurricane might miss that city, or might come through and the damage isn't as catastrophic as they predicted it to be, or whatever the reason. But just knowing what you know now, you're an adult, and what you went through when you were younger, let's say, because some people don't adhere to those warnings, right? Some people can't. Some people financially cannot evacuate. They have to stay put. Yeah. But some people that can financially evacuate, they stay put and ride it out for whatever reason. Just knowing what you know now, what you've been through. If there is a hurricane or a natural disaster that people are warned, evacuate. What's the advice there?
Evacuate. Move the fuck around. Don't stay. I did that too many times. Even in Baton Rouge, dealing with storms and floods. Like, move around. They telling you the storm is bad. The storm is bad. Move around. Get away if you can. If you can't evacuate and you're trying to ride it out, try to move around to a different location where you think you could last longer. That's about it. Mm.
Now, you did have some rough times growing up.
Yeah.
But even through the rough times, what was the most positive thing?
Music.
From your upbringing?
Music. How
young were you when you started that?
I got a passion for music at a young age. Probably like, a lot of people can't remember a lot of stuff from when they young, but I remember like being in like 3 in my father's recording studio, like just there with him. So I think that's around the time I started liking music.
Your father was a rapper?
Nah, he on his own label.
Oh.
Yeah, in New Orleans.
Did he continue that when he was released from prison?
Nah, he didn't continue it, but they had a nice lineup and stuff. They had like Mystical and a lot of other cats.
Now, what does he think of your music at this point? He doesn't own a label, he's not part of a label, but I mean, his son is doing music.
Yeah, that's crazy. I always be asking him, like trying to get tips and shit from him. Like he always give me advice and stuff, but he fuck with my music. I recently just realized that he really fuck with my music. Like he finally like hit me up. He like, man, I just seen your video, woo. Man, you going somewhere? I'm like, well, appreciate it. That was cool to know.
He's not involved in your career as a specific position though, like a manager? Or...
No.
Does he want to be? Has it gotten to the point where he's like, you know, I want to be a part of what you got going on? Has that ever been a conversation?
Yeah, he didn't try to like help me meet like different people and stuff, but his thing is always like, when he got locked up, like the music industry and shit was so different. Like right now, like shit move fast, way faster than it did. And it's easier to do certain shit now.
Growing up when you were in school, because you were in school in New Orleans, you were in school in Baton Rouge, what kind of kid were you in class, generally speaking?
Shit, I was the fucking, I don't know. I just always been laid back, but I was sneaky on some shit. Like, I was sneaky.
What was the sneakiest thing you did? Did you get caught with the sneaky stuff or no?
Man, nah, I didn't get caught. But I had just one time, I forget what grade I was in. I think I was in like 1st grade. I think in 1st grade, don't they still do like, no, I think. They had something to where everybody was in class and we just wasn't doing work. Like we was chilling and the teacher just walked out. And it was like twin sisters. I used to be like fucking with both of them. And I used to like move around the classroom, hurry up and go over there while the teacher gone, go chop up my little game and just hurry up and sneak back and shit like that.
Wow, 1st grade. I don't even remember what I was doing in 1st grade.
Shit.
You have a lot of memories of you very young.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm able to remember a lot of shit, but I remember a lot of shit.
Now, you were rapping while you were in school?
Yeah, like I always, like around, like I said, around that time, like elementary, first, third grade and shit, I was like getting like writing raps, but it wasn't like no serious shit. I remember I used to fucking, like I said, my cousin who rap, I used to go to his house, they'll be rapping, and they probably have a rhyme or some shit that they got on their paper, and I'd bring it to school. I'd be like, whoa, I got another rap. Like, it wasn't even mine, but I used to do crazy shit like that. It just be rapping shit.
Did you battle classmates? Were you into stuff like that?
Yep.
How'd you do? Win more, lose more, break even?
Far as I know, I was winning. I'm the shit. far as I knew.
What about talent shows? Did you partake in any talent shows?
Yeah, I did a few talent shows growing up.
How'd you place?
I did good. Well, the only talent show I really remember was, I think I was in 10th, 11th grade when I did that. I did a talent show, and we won.
You won?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. What about pep rallies? You ever perform at a pep rally?
I believe so, yeah.
While you were in school as a student, or you're out of school and you're coming back to a school?
I was as a student. Yeah, I think that was like middle school, 8th grade.
You graduated high school?
Yeah, I graduated from Scotlandville.
What was the plan after high school? Was there plans to further the education after that?
Yeah, but after high school, the plans was, shit, what are we about to do with this music shit? Like, cause all throughout high school, we was still focused on music. Like, we was in school, like, but we wasn't serious in school. We used to go to school and fucking clown and flirt with niggas, bitches, and shit like that. Like, we wasn't in school, like, really in school. We used to be fucking skipping class and shit. Like, we was just focused on music. That's all what it was.
What was your parents' thoughts on this?
On music?
On this choice after high school's over?
Shit.
To pursue music, not an education.
As far as I know, my mom's like, she for whatever I'm for. Like, she behind me 100%. Like, she still be like, you could go to school for this. You so smart, you could go to school for that. But I'll be like, man, I don't want to do that shit right now. I might go to school later on and, do it, but right now I'm just focused on this dream and this music because I know it's going to pay off.
Thinking back, was this the right decision to make?
Yeah. It's the right decision to make. I mean, I tried to go to school at one point. Like, I was signed up for BRCC. It was a community college, but I signed up. And I went, and it was like, oh, you don't got all your paperwork. So I was like, shit, maybe that's a sign. Maybe I just need to go get me some paper. I ain't got to worry about school right now.
So what was, okay. So I'm assuming your parents thought, okay, he's signed up for school, he's going to do the school thing, and then they find out you're not doing the school thing. What's the reaction at that point?
Kind of like surprised, like shocked. Because I think, what had happened? Yeah, like I said, I had all my shit together for school. I was getting together. I thought I was going to start. But coming around town, they're like, oh, you missing paperwork. So I was like, fuck that shit then. Let's fuck with this music and let's go get some paper.
Parents didn't try to push you, hey, get this paperwork together. We need to do this school thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she still tried to push it, but that's just not where I'm focused at right now. I know if I was in school, I wouldn't be totally focused on school right now.
Let's say somebody's watching this. Somebody fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
And they have thoughts about pursuing something in music. Doesn't necessarily have to be a rapper. Could be a DJ, engineer, producer.
Yeah.
Do you tell a person if they can continue their education, do the education thing and music at the same time? Or do you tell a person, go for the music? And circumstances could be different for everybody here, but generally speaking, what do you say to somebody in that similar situation? They want to do music, they want to pursue it, but should they do it all the way, or should they do the school thing if they can do the school thing simultaneously?
If you could still manage and do school and music, then yeah, do that. That's cool. But I just know for me, like, I'm 100% music right now. Like, can't nothing else, like, take my focus. So that's just where I'm at with it. But if you could do that, and I say, you know, if somebody pressing you to go to school and you got a dream that you want to chase your dream. At the end of the day, you got to do whatever gonna benefit you. Whatever you feel like gonna work out for you. Nobody else can pioneer your life but you.